Welcome to DC Unseen, live from the Media Hub on RiotRadio.ca. I'm your host, Katie Gerard, and this show is all about the unseen stories of students, faculty, and staff members of DC College, or Durham College. And today I'm continuing my story. So last week I left off when I was finally out of Sick Kids at the rehab center at Humbler View. But I got meningitis again for the second time and had to be sent back to Sick Kids to recover. It was terrifying. I had barely survived the first round of meningitis, and now I got it again. I was rushed into surgery and back at square one. My parents and family were so frightened because they didn't know how much my brain could take. I had been through so much in just a few months. Rehabilitation would have to wait as I had to fight meningitis again. A PICC line was inserted into my right arm, and it was a central line, so it follows the main artery into your heart. It was to give me medications on high-powered antibiotics. Because my brain and spine were being ravaged by infection, I was so weak and lost the ability to do much at all. My days were once again filled with therapies to help me regain my most simple abilities. Here I am showing off my mad skills like being able to clap. This was actually a huge deal, even though it looks like
do now?
Not much at all. This was such a big deal. I couldn't believe it. Just to do that was so much effort. It seems silly, but it's true.
Clapping!
So yeah, you can see that I'm trembling and I would shake
Woo,
all the time.
the slow clap
I couldn't control my
returns to
shaking.
Katie Gerard.
So my
Way
nervous
to
system was
go.
shot. I was still not myself, and I had to devote all my energy to do one small task. In this case, it was clapping. You can see I looked like I was concentrating so hard to do this one simple task. It seemed silly that I had to do it, but you can see that I was being able to use my left hand again, and after a stroke, you lose the ability to use your left side like you used to be able to. My brain had to find and relearn how to make new neural pathways to do tasks from areas of the brain that were damaged. So PTAs and OTAs at Durham College, shout out to you again, because that's what we had to do, was PT and OT work. This is why you do repetitive exercises over and over again. Neuroplasticity is the ability for your brain to learn new pathways. And my mom used to actually tell me in the hospital, she would be like, get those neural pathways moving. And I thought she was making it up, thinking because I didn't know anything, but I just thought she was making it up, but it's actually a real thing. You can see in this video, I do not look happy because I was not able to smile or show much emotion due to the meningitis. But you can see, I needed to have multiple nurses to help me move. And you can see actually those are compression socks that I'm wearing. And people who are in hospital lying down all the time will wear them just to prevent blood clots from forming.
Way to go, Kate.
But yeah, so I had to wear those socks.
Good job. Wow.
Kind of crazy. And so this here is a what they call moon boots, and because I was in the hospital, lying down in the hospital bed, you can get bed sores, right? So these would go on your feet, and they're little like cushions. So there's like little pillows in them that make you so your foot isn't touching or resting on the bed, which will create bed sores. So that is there to help prevent that. And I forgot to show you the incredible Dr. Drake, who is the chief of surgery at Sick Kids. And he saved my life on August 6th, 2020. And George Ezra was actually a big part of my recovery. I remember my mom playing his songs all the time, like when I would go in for my showers or just chilling in my hospital bed, we would listen to his music all the time. So his music really hits me hard. So this is Katie Gerard coming to you live from the Media Hub on DC Radio. Speaking of Hamilton, I love that musical so much, I was able to see it 3 times. This is a playbill, I guess, or not playbill, but a brochure program from when I went to go see it in Toronto. Really good musical. And once on Broadway, which that is a bit later in my story. But yeah, through November and December, I was slowly getting better. Once again, my family and medical team were hopeful that I would be able to beat the infection. And I was getting injections of high-powered antibiotics through my PICC line. So a PICC line, you can see the PICC line here on the photo. It's basically a line that goes in your central line that follows all the way to your heart, and it's a way for nurses to pump medicines and high-powered antibiotics to you. So yeah, and I have regained the ability to smile and show some expression. I also received antibiotics intrathecally, and that means the neurosurgeon would come into my room every 3 days to inject antibiotics into a tube that was in my skull. Like some sort of cyborg from Doctor Who. No, I'm just kidding. But it was kind of scary. But yeah, so there was a blood-brain barrier, which makes it very difficult to fight off infections of the brain and spinal cord. But the team did not want me to get as deathly ill as I once had the first round of meningitis. So through this time, I was slowly regaining some abilities, as you can see.
And up,
I was able to look
Got
up,
it.
and this was huge.
Good
Like
morning.
there were,
Look at
you
your
can
mom
see
at the
3
door.
nurses all doing this just for
sweet.
me to sit up on my edge of the bed. That's kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, because it's a pediatric hospital, they ensure that their patients have a special time, and it's not all hospital-related like stuff. So for the holidays like Christmas, they decorated my room and even bought me gifts and they even buy gifts for the children and parents who have been there over the holidays. And they serve a turkey dinner as well. Of course, I wasn't able to eat it because I was nose tube fed, but they did serve turkey dinner to my mom and dad, which was nice. And they make sure to make it a little festive for the holidays. So yeah, my grandma bought me a little miniature Christmas tree that lit up for my room. So you can see here I have like all these lights over me and the Christmas tree. And yeah, so that was nice because, and once again, you're in a hospital room. There's not much festivity in a hospital room, so this made it as festive as you can get in a hospital room. But yeah, so my room was decorated with paper snowflakes and Christmas lights. And here I am getting therapy around Christmas time. As you can see, I have the cards along my wall and the nurses there as well. And you can see they're actually holding my head up because I was so weak at the time that I couldn't even hold my own head up. Like there's someone there propagating me to hold my head up. That's how far back I was at the time. And they want patients to have a nicely decorated room to make it more festive. And even though it was COVID, we got permission for my whole family, me, my mom, my dad, and my 2 sisters. Not my dogs, but that's okay. I guess they have to draw the line somewhere. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so we got permission to spend Christmas all together, even during COVID, so that was very nice. So yeah, here's a picture of us during Christmas. And once again, I look very out of it because that was a time of my recovery where I was out of it, but it was nice that we were able to all be together during this time. And I remember being so exhausted during this time, I could barely keep my eyes open. Like, it was such a rough time. Oh, but yeah, so yeah. Here I am at Sick Kids in December. So, it has like a little bit of that 2014 YouTube audio. That's mine. This is to show you. I was doing some things like playing catch with my sister, which was huge at this point. But yeah, you can see I'm trembling and we do exercises. And I had to sit in my wheelchair actually every day. After the break, I will be talking about ringing in the new year. Was it at Sick Kids or Blurview? This is Katie Gerard, and no, it was not like Christmas at all that year. But the child life specialists and nurses really worked hard to make it special. During this time, I was still lying down for majority of it, but the therapist had me sit up in my reclining wheelchair twice a day to get me used to sitting up. My wheelchair had special padding in it so I wouldn't get bed sores. Bed sores are a really bad problem for people who are bedridden in hospitals. You often hear of older people struggling with this condition. Not to generalize as well, but you do hear of that happening with older patients. But it is a big problem that a lot of pediatric patients as well deal with. Like, I had to have the boots to help me not get them. But my nurses and my parents did a really good job of turning me over because I couldn't even turn myself over or roll myself over to get off of a side of my body that was on the bed for a long time. And so at this point, I was like a sack of potatoes pretty well. It was not the funnest of times, but I had to be hosted up in a lift whenever I had to get in my wheelchair, as I couldn't move. You might wonder how I showered or bathed, and I was also hoisted up in a crane into a stretcher-like purple bath that was vinyl. And the vinyl bath, it was called a dolphin bath, and it would roll down the 5C hallways into a large shower room where I would shower. And this was the hoist that would transfer me to that hospital bed. Or the shower bed. Bath. But yeah, my therapists were helping me learn how to sit up straight again and to hold my head up. I was so deconditioned, I was almost like a newborn baby. It was that detrimental at the time. It's kind of weird because I was like a newborn baby having to reach all of these new milestones. But unlike a newborn baby, I can remember relearning how to do those simple tasks like eating food or being able to, go to the bathroom, like just simple tasks that I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. So it's almost like, it was just very, I guess, nice, quote unquote, to put in a way, that I'm able to remember those times that I was able to relearn how to. Like looking back. And here I am relearning how to hold my head up. So you can see,
It's amazing.
Keep holding.
once again, I was very, very,
Good holding.
very sick.
It's amazing.
Keep holding. Keep holding.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I was very sick at that time. And my therapists were also working toward the goal of putting weight on my feet by standing. And I hadn't stood up since the morning and early afternoon of August 6, 2020. So that was almost 5 months earlier. And you can see in this video the first time I stood up. The therapist knew that I was on the taller side, but they didn't know exactly how tall I was, but I had about 2-3 feet over them. it was so funny, but yeah.
Good, Katie. Stand up tall. Stand up tall. Look at you. Oh my God.
They did not know how tall I really was, but the 6'3" dad. You don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this was a massive step forward in my recovery. My meningitis had been cured as well after 2 months of aggressive antibiotics. I was going to remain on those antibiotic injections for 6 months straight. I had about 5 surgeries from October to December, changing the drain in my head so to beat the infection. My final surgery was in 2020 to put back my shunt. This time on the other side of my head, which I still have that same shunt today, actually. You can kind of feel it on my head. It's like a little part that protrudes out, but it's very weird. And it's still the same shunt as that was put on December 2020, which is good news. On New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2020, I once again was put on a stretcher. The nurses lined the hallway to say goodbye to me, and I was cleared to begin my rehabilitation journey back at Blairview. Fingers crossed that I would only be coming back to Sick Kids for follow-up visits. This is Katie Gerard on DC Unseen, And I rang the New Year in at Holland Bloorview Children's Hospital. And I told you last episode that it was a wonderful place. And I was settling in. And around this time, I got a special message from Lin-Manuel Miranda himself. And here is the picture of the card he sent me. And it's signed Siempre Lin, which means always Lin. And he said that I was like Hamilton, I never quit. So that was something special. And actually, I got that because my mom's friend, Lisa, reached out to him, and whose sister works on Broadway and was able to reach him. I don't know, friends through friends. But yeah, so yeah. And the point of rehab is to get patients in a state to be ready to go home. And they make it as much as like home as possible. So you do the same routines. And I had a full schedule every day that was booked up. In the mornings, I often started my days off at around 8 a.m. And I would do occupational therapy and physiotherapy. My PT was Fraser, and I would also do speech therapy. I remember a game where I was a frog, and I had to say ribbit in a very loud voice to try and make me to use my vocal cords. And because I was so sick at this point, they were trying to make me make some sounds. And this seems like such an easy game to play, but at the time it was so hard, so difficult, as you can imagine. But yeah, and because I was tube fed, I wasn't talking as much. And I legit had to keep a towel by my face at all times because I was drooling. I wasn't able to swallow. I had a little thing that looked like a toothbrush, and it was rubber, and the speech pathologist would massage my mouth to make my muscles get used to sensation. And here are some more videos of me at Bloorview.
And close. Big open. Yeah, that's it.
On February 15th, 2021, my family day weekend, I worked up to visiting home for the first time since I left to go to my friend's cottage on August 2020. So this is the video of me.
On this as best you can.
Oh no, this is a different video. Oh, it's okay.
There you go.
That's
Good.
okay.
We're going to do
That's
5
okay.
steps forward with that. Right.
There. But yeah. Anyway, it's okay. It was just a video of me returning home. But yeah, and here I am at Sick Kids walking again. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. So here I am walking in at Sick Kids, which was very good. This was really previous to being in the hospital bed, so from me being able to walk was very good. But yeah, next week will be the last episode of my story, and I'll tell you about returning home with my family and a new and changed life. I had some pretty incredible experiences in the past years of my recovery, and I will share with you next episode. And remember to always look on the bright side of life. This is Katie Gerard for DC Unseen, live from the Media Hub.